Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Dan 2x15 on Xbox Live. Welcome to my WWE Money in the Bank predictions. And it's better late than never, as it's officially Sunday, and it's actually this Sunday as we speak that's gonna be Money in the Bank. And hopefully WWE don't squander it this time, because for the last couple of years the WWE Money in the Bank has been squandered. But I very much doubt it this time, because they're finally back with fans, and so hopefully this time we don't get a waste of an opportunity, and I don't want a cash-in. Luckily this time, when it comes to the women's side, there ain't going to be surprise pregnancy announcements after the Money in the Bank. I don't want anyone to cash in on Money in the Bank, but I will make a slight prediction if they were to do that, and I'll make that prediction when it comes to it. And for you guys that have not seen my videos before, when I make WWE predictions, this is how I do them. I make two separate predictions. The first one is who I think is going to win, and that's basically who WWE have booked to win, who I think WWE have booked to win the matchup. The second one is, of course, who is my own personal opinion. It's my own personal opinion. So without further ado, let's get on to the first matchup. The first match is a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions RHEA and Dominic Mysterio, Father and son to become the Tag Team Champions, are going to take on the challengers, the Usos. Now, here's an example for what I said about how I do things, who I think is going to win. I think the Usos are going to win. But who do I want to win? I want the Mysterios to win, because they haven't had the championships for long, and so I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup, that's for sure. It's on the kickoff show, so anything can happen, which is very bad for the Usos, because that's going to piss off Roman Reigns, where he's in the main event and they're on the kickoff show. So even if they do win the tag team titles, he's still going to be pissed off the fact that they were on the kickoff show. So that could be very good tension right there. So that is my prediction to this first matchup. I'll see you on the next match. And the next match is another tag team championship match, but this time it is the Raw Tag Team Championship match, as the phenomenal one AJ Styles and his tag team partner Moss defend the Raw Tag Team Championships against the Viking Raiders. Now, as for who I think is going to win, I think it'll be AJ Styles on Omos. Who do I want to win? The Viking Raiders. This could be a very big upset from the Viking Raiders, or Omos will come into the ring and beat the shit out of both of them and win for the matchup for AJ Styles and Omos himself. We'll just have to wait and see Money in the Bank, and until then, we'll go on to the next match. And the next match is the Raw Women's Champion RHEA Ripley for the 300th time. No, not necessarily 300th. This is the third time that is going to go one-on-one with Charlotte Flair, but this time round, because it's RHEA Ripley defending her title against Charlotte Flair, and again, last time she faced her, she got herself disqualified, which means there's only one other way that she's not won by, and I think she'll win by count out this time. So with that being said, I think it'll be RHEA Ripley, and I want RHEA Ripley because I don't want Charlotte Flair to become champion again. So, you know, with all these stingy tactics that have been happening, I think count out is the way that they're going to go. This matchup was on the card before the women's Money in the Bank, according to the WWE.com. However, I would like to think that it's a possibility that we'll see this matchup after the women's Money in the Bank to give us that, will the person cash in, won't they cash in, but speaking of cashing in, I'll get to that in just a second, as we've got both 2 Money in the Bank matches to predict, and I'll get on to the first one, which I think is the women's one, I believe. I'm not too sure, but yeah, Rhea Ripley all the way on this prediction. Next matchup. And up next is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have a Money in the Bank ladder match almost every year. Last year, Otis won it by a fluke, and because, well, it just fell onto his lap, quite literally. But this time, though, each and every one of these people, all these men, qualified. And I can even go through, I wish I could go through on each and every and how they qualified, but that'll take too long. So I'm just going to name you all the people from left to right, starting with Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison, Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura, or King Shinsuke as he's now known as, and Seth freaking Rollins, the Messiah, as I like. But here, and out of all of them, I think they've all been in Money in the Bank ladder matches, right? I know that Ricochet has, and I know that Kevin Owens has, and Seth Rollins has won one before, and Shinsuke Nakamura has been in a couple, I think, and definitely Ricochet. I think Matt Riddle's been in a 1 or 2, and John Morrison, I think, has in the past as well. Not too sure about Big E and Drew McIntyre, but I think they have. But this is going to be an interesting prediction, because I'm going to make 4 multiple predictions. This is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through each person, and I'm going to predict who they would cash in against. And second of all, depending, and when they would do it, and also who I think is going to win and who I want is going to win as well. Starting to who I think is going to win. I think that this was a tough one to choose. I think it'll be Drew McIntyre, but I want it to be Big E, and I'll give you the reason why in just a second when I get to him. Now, going through left to right from Kevin Owens to Seth Rollins, who do I think they're going to cash in against? Okay, Kevin Owens has got unfinished, as he said, he's got unfinished business with Bobby Lashley, and of course he's got with Bobby Lashley and of course Roman Reigns. But I think he would, if he was to win the Money in the Bank, he would cash in against Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre. Now, technically, as long as Bobby Lashley is the WWE champion, he technically can't go after Bobby Lashley. However, because Bobby Lashley is defending his title against Kofi Kingston, if Kofi Kingston was to win, I kind of think I've got this sneaky suspicion that he'll turn heel and cash in against Kofi on the night, just because he can, or turn it into a triple threat match. So it'll be a plot hole there. So yeah, it's a possibility that it'll definitely be the WWE Championship either way. Riddle, I don't know. He's a very like how can I say, maybe undecided type of person. So if anything, he might cash in. I don't think he'll cash in against Roman, but Lashley or or KOFI for sure. Definitely not KOFI, but again, Edge could win the Universal Championship. So I think, if anything, it'll be the WWE Championship. Ricochet, definitely, I think I could see him going after Roman Reigns. I don't know why the Universal Championship, because he's had his shot at the WWE Championship and failed. So Ricochet would probably cash in against the Universal Champion. John Morrison, I think, would cash in against the WWE Champion. Big E, now I'm going to tell you, this is where my interesting story comes in. I think that it's possible we might see Big E turn heel against his New Day brethren. I think somehow, some way that Kofi will beat Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. He will win the Money in the Bank earlier on in the night. They'll come down to celebrate the fact that they are, the Mr. Money in the Bank and the WWE Champion. Big E's got Kofi on his shoulders, does an electric chair, and Xavier Woods is doing the whole drunk bone thing on the turnbuckle. He turns around, he's like, wait, what? Big E hits with a big Andy onto Xavier Woods, breaks Francesca the trombone, goes outside, whacks Xavier Woods with it, and beats him up so he can't get up. He then gets out his briefcase, puts this in front of Kofi's face as he's about to, as Kofi's getting up, and he whacks him with it, and then hits him with a big ending, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then he grabs the briefcase and cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase because it's in front of a live crowd again. It would be a great heel turn, a big boo session from the crowd. I don't think anyone could boo Big E, but if anyone could make him a heel, it's by turning on the New Day. That's the only way you can possibly make it work. Shinsuke Nakamura, I could see cashing in against Roman Reigns somehow. And Seth Rollins doing the same thing. He's done it once, he'll do it again. Turn it into another triple threat match. I think that's definitely another Roman Reigns Edge because of this whole Edge thing, and I think it could possibly happen. Whether it'll happen on the same night or SummerSlam or whatever, we shall see. As we'll go on to the next match. The next match is the Women's Money in the Bank ladder matchup. And well, going from left to right in surprising order, we've got the surprising return of Zelina Vega. Asuka, who won it last year, but ended up winning the WWE Raw Women's Championship because of the fact that Becky Lynch was pregnant. Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, almost a superhero, Nikki Ash, Liv Morgan, Natalya and Tamina, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Will they implode? I think they will, because it's for the Money in the Bank. So, out of all of them, Asuka and I believe Asuka and Alexa Bliss are 2 former Money in the Bank winners. But here's the ones who do I think is going to win? That's a very, very, very big who do I think. It's between Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss, but this one's hard. But I think it'll be Alexa Bliss again. Who do I want to win? And as much as this is a hard one again, I actually want Alexa Bliss to win. And I don't care what people think of this brand new Alexa Bliss, it just makes sense to have her as the Money in the Bank winner. But, I wouldn't mind either way. But again, I'm going to go from left to right here very quickly if I can. Zelina Vega, I can see her cashing in a Money in the Bank contract against the SmackDown Women's Champion. Whether that be, SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Asuka, I can see her cashing in against the Raw Women's Champion, but she'll probably keep it for the briefcase for longer this time. Naomi, I think she'll go after the SmackDown Women's Championship because she has won that championship before. So it's a possibility. Alexa Bliss, she has cashed in against the Raw Women's Champion on the very same night when she cashed in against Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. Technically speaking, earned it for Ronda Rousey. I think it was it last year? I think so. No, it was the year before. Yes, it was the year before, 2019. So it's a possibility she could do the exact same thing this time out against Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Nikki Cross, if she was to win, she would have that and probably do the one thing that no one's ever done before and hold the Money in the Bank briefcase until the Money in the Bank comes around again, because she'll get excited and cash it in, and I think she would fail to cash in, I'm afraid. Whether it be against the SmackDown Women's Champion or the Raw Women's Champion, she'll be the one to fail. Liv Morgan, SmackDown Women's Championship. Natalya, the same thing. And the same with Tamina, I think the same thing. SmackDown Women's, both of those are the SmackDown Women's Championship if they was to win the Money in the Bank. I don't think either of them will, because they are the Women's Tag Team Champions. They just cost each other the match. Everyone knows Elstone has a better chance than but it's either between Selena Vega or Alexa Bliss in my mind. Maybe even Asuka. But yeah, as I said, I think it'll be Alexa Bliss, and I want it to be Alexa Bliss too. And so we go on to the first of the two World Heavyweight Championship matches. And the first of the men's championship matches, well, singles championship matches, is the Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns will defend his Universal Championship against the rated R superstar WWE Hall of Famer Edge. Now, this is a very big question. Who do I think and who do I want to win this matchup? This is very, very tough for me to make because Roman Reigns' feud is gonna head towards heading towards The Rock versus Roman Reigns. So, here's the thing. Are we still going to get that, but Edge is going to be champion for a while, then Roman Reigns wins it back? Or are we going to see Roman Reigns go all the way until WrestleMania and The Rock beats him for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania? After the win in the Royal Rumble, perhaps that would be a great thing to do if you ask me. Have at number 30, have The Rock come out at number 30 and just eliminates... Because maybe Edge comes into it and he's like, he's number one again. He's like, I want this again. He does it. That would be a great story for me, where he wants it again, but then gets eliminated by The Rock, who's at number 30. The Edge even eliminates everyone else. Then, well, apart from the odd spot here and there in the next year's Royal Rumble, that would be a great thing to do. But let's just go and focus on Money in the Bank. Who do I think is gonna win? Roman Reigns. Who do I want to win? Edge. But with Paul Heyman by his side, and the fact that the Usos, if they are the tag team champions at the end of the night, they would be celebrating the victory with Roman Reigns, I'm afraid. But will there be a cash in? That's a good point. Like maybe Seth Rollins wins the Money in the Bank and cashes in. We'll still see what happens. And, well, but that's it for the predictions until the next matchup, because we're going on to the main event of Money in the Bank. And that's up next. And the main event is, of course, the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley will defend his championship against New Day member KOFI Kingston. Can Kofi Kingston become a two-time WWE Champion? Boy, I hope so. Will Big E cash in his Money in the Bank against him if Big E wins the Money in the Bank? After he wins, has Bobby Lashley gone soft? He's proven that he isn't by getting rid of MVP, like he was sick and tired of MVP's little bullshit of like celebrating with the women. So maybe he was thinking, right, that's it, no more I want to focus on one thing and one thing only. Myself is what he's basically saying. You know, no more VIP lounges. I just want to focus, you know. It's like, he didn't technically attack MVP or betray him or get rid of him. He was just wants to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's defending the WWE Championship, beating everybody up, and, you know, going to WrestleMania as WWE Champion, or at least going to SummerSlam as WWE Champion. So with that being said, because of how focused Bobby Lashley is now, I think that he will win. But I want Kofi Kingston to win. So, you know, that's a bit, and even if Big E doesn't win the Money in the Bank contract, he can still celebrate with Kofi on that very night. It will be a great thing to see. All three members of the New Day celebrating like they did at WrestleMania. So, you know, one thing I'd like to say is, I don't want another Kofi Mania where he defends the championship in really good situations, but when it comes to people like Brock Lesnar loses just like that, please do not let be a losing just like that to Bobby Lashley. I mean, think about it. If Brock Lesnar, someone the size of Brock Lesnar, can beat up Kofi in 8 seconds, then I think Lashley could easily do the same thing. So with that being said, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Dan2x15 on Xbox Live, and I've just made my predictions for WWE Money in the Bank that happens tonight, because it is Sunday, and Sunday evening to be more precise, and I cannot wait to see the results on my next day off, and I will do my review as per usual. And until that review from WWE Money in the Bank, I am goodbye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.